Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to another video of my channel Smarter Everyday, and in this video we're going to again learn about the circulatory system, and this is going to be the last video for circulatory system, the second part. And of course it's going to be very informative and easy. If it's not even easy, I will make it easy for you. So why to wait? Let's begin. But before starting, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Let's begin. So the topics covered in this video are heart, and subtopics of heart is structure of the heart and valves of the heart. Next is process of circulation, then heartbeat, pulse, pulse rate and blood pressure. Second last topic is blood transfusion, and the last topic is maintaining heart healthy. So there's going to be one more video in which we will learn only 5 asanas to maintain our heart healthy. So that video you can take it as a subtopic of maintaining heart healthy. So now let's move to the first topic, that is heart. So as you all know, heart is an amazing organ. It beats non-stop throughout one's life. It is a pear-shaped structure about the size of a human fist. The heart is located between the lungs in the center of our chest, but it is slightly to the left. So some people say if you want to hear a heartbeat, keep your hand to your left side of the chest, because there the sound of the heart pumping is more, because it is slightly to the left. Even if you keep it to the right also, you can hear very little, very little. So it is made up of specialized muscles, also known as cardiac muscles. You may have heard, of course. These muscles contract and relax to pump blood in the body. Now let's see the structure of that. Outside we know that it is pear-shaped, but what about inside? So from inside, the heart is divided into 4 hollow chambers. The upper 2 chambers are called atria. This is plural, and atrium is for singular. They have relatively thin walls because only they receive blood from veins. Next, the lower 2 chambers are called ventricles, plural of course, singular is ventricle. They have thicker walls because they pump blood out of the heart into arteries. Now let's see valves of the heart. These valves are like one-way gates. Okay, they are like only one-way gates. They allow blood to flow in only one direction, which is from atria to ventricles. So this is important. Now let's move to the next topic, that is process of circulation. So the process of circulation starts with the pumping of heart. The left chambers contain oxygenated blood and the right chambers contain deoxygenated blood. So this image over here will make it more clear for you all. So these both are atria, these both that I am marking, and the below two are ventricles. So now the one atrium and one ventricle to the left contain oxygenated blood, okay, and the right, that is one atrium and one ventricle, again they contain deoxygenated blood. So now let's see the steps in the process of circulation. First step is the right atrium receives deoxygenated blood from various parts of the body by a large vein called vena cava, while the left atrium receives oxygenated blood from lungs. Now the second step over here is both the atria contract at the same time. So the blood from the right atrium is pumped into the right ventricle, and the blood from the left ventricle is pumped into the left ventricle, as you can see in this image. Now the third step is both the atria now relax to receive blood from the body and the lungs, and both ventricles contract. Now atria says, my work is done. Now till the body gives the blood, I am relaxing. I am watching a movie. Till then you ventricles, you do something. So the second last step is the oxygenated blood from the left ventricle is pumped into aorta and distributed to all body parts by arteries. Then the deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle is pumped into pulmonary artery and is transported to lungs for oxygenation. Oxygenation means actually opposite. The carbon dioxide is thrown out in the lungs. Now let's move to the next topic. So heartbeat, pulse rate and blood pressure. So first let's learn what is heartbeat. The rhythmic contraction and relaxation of atria and ventricles is known as heartbeat. A normal human heart it beats around 72 times, okay, per minute. It beats 72 times, and it increases when you go for exercise. When you go for a checkup also, your doctor uses a stethoscope. So stethoscope is important. It is the device used to measure our heartbeat. To carefully listen to your heartbeats. A healthy heart makes a lub-dub sound. With each beat, the contraction of auricular chambers and ventricular chambers and closing of the valves produce sound that can be heard as lub-dub sound. So now next time whenever you go for a checkup, you can ask the doctor that can you hear lub-dub sound, okay? The doctor may tell. Next, let's see pulse. So the pulse is same as the number of heartbeats. It is same to heartbeat only. So hence a pulse can tell a person how fast your heart is beating, and it gives your doctor a general idea of how your heart is doing. The pulse is very faint sound caused by the heart's pushing blood through the arteries. The jerk-like or jumping movement, okay, that may not be felt in the arteries but away from the heart. So when the palm ends, when your palm ends, where your palm ends, you can feel it over here. If you keep it for some minutes. So now let's move to the next slide and see what is pulse rate and blood pressure. So the pulse rate is the rate at which heartbeat is. It is same as heartbeat. So pulse and pulse rate are same as, I pressed next by mistake, are same as the heartbeat. So a normal healthy person a normal healthy person's heart can beat has a pulse around 70 to 80, and physical activity, as I told, increases the pulse rate. And the blood pressure, now let's see blood pressure. And blood pressure is very important. So every person needs blood pressure to live. Without it, blood will not be able to circulate through the body to carry oxygen and fuel to vital organs. The pressure exerted by the circulating blood on the walls of the blood vessels is called the blood pressure. So it is like blood wants to come out of the blood vessels, but it is holding. So that power of the blood is known as blood pressure. Now let's move to the next topic, that is blood transfusion. So now you may be thinking, guys, what is transfusion? Array, what is he telling? So the transfer of blood from one person to another is called blood transfusion, also known as blood donation also you may call. The person who gives blood is called the donor, we all know, while the one who receives blood is called the recipient. So for blood transfusion, the blood of the donor and that of the recipient should be same. It should be of the same blood group. And blood transfusion, it is done in certain diseases or in case of some blood loss. And there are 4 kind of blood groups: A, B, AB and O. And blood transfusion should be done very carefully, and it should like the donor's blood should match with that of the recipient. Otherwise what will happen is the RBCs will stick to each other and may endanger the life of the recipient. So now in this table, let's see who can give blood to whom. Okay, so if someone is of AB, okay, he can give blood to AB and can receive blood from AB, AB and O. If someone is of blood group A, he can give blood to A and B and can receive from A and O. If someone is of a B blood group, he can give blood to B and AB and receive blood from B and O. And if someone is of O, he can give blood to all the blood groups, all the 4 blood groups. Those are AB, A, B and O. But can receive blood from only from O. Now let's move to the next slide. That is maintaining heart healthy. This is the last topic. So being physically active is necessary and it is even fun. You can play cricket at your home only in this time of pandemic with the sponge ball. And most kids are born with a healthy heart, and it is very important to maintain it as it is when you are born. So remember that your heart is a muscle. So whenever you exercise, your muscles contract. The contracting muscles use increased amount of oxygen and nutrients such as glucose and release maximum waste. So this will make our heart healthy. So how do you exercise? This is very important. The trick should be very nice. It shouldn't be like you're doing wrong. You don't have to jerk your body. So by being active, like skipping, dancing, playing basketball, etc., you're exercising your heart. If now you want to 2 minutes, guys. Yeah, I came, sorry. So if you want to know that are you exercising or no, so if you want to know, you can see these 3 pointers. They are: if your heart is beating fast, you are exercising; if you are sweating, you are exercising; and if you can hear yourself only breathe, you are exercising. So try to be at least only 30 minutes in a 24 hours day active. An hour would be very good. And now let's see some tips or things that you can do to keep your heart healthy and happy. So you should eat a variety of healthy foods. Try to eat at least 5 servings of fruits and vegetables each day. And mainly you should avoid sugar. A lot of children now eat sugar, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, etc. So now next is you don't have to smoke. It can damage the heart and the blood vessels near to the heart, and get adequate sleep. So guys, that's all for this video. We'll meet in the next video. I hope you all like this video. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And like goal for this video is 100. Okay, it's a century. Okay, you have to make a century in this video. 100 likes only for this video. So I hope you'll all complete this goal very fast. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, bye bye.